Let's get one thing clear. You don't really want the truth. Not the whole ugly truth. Deep down, what you want is to be comforted. You crave the gentle lullaby of a beautiful lie far more than the jarring alarm of a harsh reality.
You tell yourself that you seek honesty, that you value facts over fantasy. But watch how you actually live. Each day, you avert your eyes from inconvenient facts. You cling to reassuring stories about yourself and the world, even when you suspect they're false, because they comfort you more than the truth would. From childhood, you've been fed sweet fictions. You were told that everything happens for a reason, that good things come to good people. These stories comforted you. They kept the monsters under your bed at bay. And for a while, they chased away the bigger monsters lurking in your mind. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche saw through these soothing tales. He knew that most people couldn't handle reality raw. So he observed that society is built on carefully woven illusions. They are like soft blankets we wrap around ourselves to avoid shivering in the cold darkness of unvarnished truth. Nietzsche once wrote, "We have art so that we do not die of the truth." Let that sink in. To him, truth was not liberating. It was brutal, even deadly. Without the soothing illusion of beauty, without something like art to soften the blow, the raw weight of reality might crush us. In this light, beauty isn't decoration, it's survival. A necessary illusion to make life bearable. A gentle lie that keeps us from falling apart. What is this truth that is so deadly? It's the knowledge that beneath our pretty stories, life is indifferent and often cruel. That we are small, that suffering is rampant, that our lives have no intrinsic meaning except what we invent. Those facts are a bitter pill to swallow, so we sugarcoat that pill. We create religions that promise eternal life and justice. We tell ourselves that a loving God has a plan, that everything will work out in the end. These beliefs are comforting. They turn the cold, chaotic universe into a warm, ordered home. We cling to moral codes and social myths to give us direction. Believe in karma, in fairness, in the idea that hard work guarantees success. It feels good to think the universe plays by the rules we hope for. The ugly truth, that luck and power often triumph over virtue, is too disturbing to accept. Nietzsche borrowed from the Greeks to explain this. He spoke of Apollo and Dionysus. Apollo, the god of light and art, represents order and illusion. Dionysus, the god of wine and ecstasy, represents chaos and raw reality. Most people embrace the Apollonian illusion, the comforting dream, and shy away from Dionysian madness. Why? Because Dionysian reality is terrifying. It's the frenzy and pain beneath life's surface, the screaming truth that things fall apart and that we are not truly in control. To face that directly is to risk losing your mind in the abyss. So you grasp Apollo's hand and stick to the pretty scenery. The abyss is Nietzsche's word for the deepest existential truth. The void, the nothingness, the chaos underlying everything. Gaze into it too long, and it gazes back into you, threatening to unmake the comfortable identity you've built. Most people quickly look away, preferring the dim shadows on the wall to the darkness beyond. Without some illusion, many would simply break down. The truth can cause despair, paralysis. Nietzsche understood that illusions, art, religion, ideals, are like oxygen for the weak. They keep us alive. But he also hinted that living on lies comes at the cost of never truly seeing reality or ourselves. Take morality. We praise virtues like kindness and humility. But Nietzsche would say, look closer. Often our virtues are masks. Behind an act of charity, there might lurk a hunger for influence or recognition. Behind humble words, perhaps a quiet pride. We hide our will to power behind a smile. Think of a politician who preaches about serving the public while secretly reveling in authority. Or a religious leader who calls for piety and self-denial, yet basks in the control he has over his flock. They might believe their own words, not seeing the ambition that truly drives them. And it's not just them, it's you too. When you argue that you're right, is it always truth you care about? Or do you just want to win, to feel superior? We tell ourselves we champion truth and goodness, but often we just want the thrill of victory or the comfort of feeling righteous. Admitting this is painful. It's an ugly truth about human nature. Underneath our noble masks, our drives are selfish, hungry, and often blind. So we lie to ourselves. We choose the flattering reflection in the mirror and try not to notice the cracks in the glass. Nietzsche spoke of free spirits, rare individuals who tear off their comfortable masks. A free spirit rejects the soothing lies society tells, and even the lies the ego tells itself. They brave the cold air of reality with lungs that have learned to breathe it, however harsh it might be. For these few, truth is pursued at all costs. They slaughter their own sacred cows, face the death of their old beliefs, and stand alone if they must. Nietzsche imagined these truth seekers forging new values in the void, creating meaning in a world that offers none. They are makers of light in a dark world. But this path is not for the faint of heart. Those who wake up from the beautiful dream often feel loneliness and despair first. They see what others refuse to see, and that isolates them. Society calls them cynics, heretics, or fools. Yet in that solitude, they might discover a deeper strength. Modern psychology agrees. Our minds aren't built for pure truth. They're built for survival, which often means self-deception. We have mental defenses designed to protect our psyche, not to unveil reality. In essence, evolution cares about fitness, not truth. Believing comforting falsehoods can sometimes be more adaptive than seeing the ugly reality. Consider cognitive dissonance, a fancy term for the stress we feel when a fact clashes with our belief or self-image. If you think you're smart but fail at something obvious, your mind aches. To ease that pain, you might dismiss the task as unimportant or make excuses. That way, you get to keep believing the lie that protects your ego. A classic example is the smoker who knows that smoking causes cancer, yet keeps smoking. The fact and the behavior conflict, so something has to give. Often, the mind simply downplays the danger. Oh, those studies are exaggerated. It won't happen to me. The lie is more comforting than the truth of self-harm. Then there's confirmation bias. Your mind loves to hear what it already believes. You will seek out news and opinions that tell you you're right and good, that your side is winning. When you encounter evidence that you're wrong, you likely ignore it or attack it. This bias keeps your worldview intact and nicely padded. Show someone facts that challenge their deep beliefs, and often you'll see not an open mind, but a fortified castle. They'll double down on their original belief even harder. That's the backfire effect. The truth threatens their identity, so they build higher walls and thicker illusions to keep it out. So even when reality knocks on the door, many of us refuse to answer. Our psychological defenses are like a security system guarding our comfortable worldview. Every alarm bell of truth is quickly switched off or drowned out by the lullaby we prefer. It's no wonder we stay asleep, wrapped in our dreams. Another defense is what psychologists call terror management theory. At its core is the fear of death. You know that one day you will die, but you can't stand that thought. So you cling to whatever makes you feel immortal. National pride, religious salvation, lasting achievements. You hide from the truth of your mortality behind symbols of meaning. Experiments show that when people are reminded of their death, they become more polarized and defensive about their beliefs. Confronted with the ultimate truth of life's fragility, we grasp our comforting narratives tighter. We demonize those who disagree and sanctify our own group stories. It's a desperate effort to feel secure. Denial is perhaps the simplest shield. Something feels too awful to accept. So you just say, "No, I don't believe it." Your mind pushes the fact into the shadows. This can happen with a medical diagnosis, a betrayal by a loved one, or any reality that threatens the way you see the world. Have you ever seen someone insist they're fine while everything falls apart around them? Or maybe you've been that person, smiling through misery, refusing to admit a relationship is toxic or a dream is over. Denial numbs the pain for a while by wrapping you in a fantasy where everything is okay. In the age of social media, denial and illusion have become a collective pastime. Online, everyone wears a mask. You carefully select which moments to share. The smiling selfies, the achievements, the romantic gestures. You omit the tearful nights, the failures, the fights. Your profile becomes your Apollonian shrine of order and beauty, hiding the chaos. And when you scroll through others' lives, you see their highlight reels and forget that you're comparing your behind the scenes to their bright stage performance. So you feel inadequate, thinking everyone else has it together. In truth, they're as scared and flawed as you. But like you, they hide it behind filters and smiles. Social media also feeds you information it knows you will agree with. The algorithms learn your desires and biases. If you lean one way, you'll see posts reinforcing that view, rarely the opposite. Your news becomes an echo chamber that whispers exactly what you want to hear. Comfortable lies at scale, personalized just for you. Politicians and marketers have mastered the art of telling beautiful lies. They know people want to hear that their side is righteous, that salvation is just one vote or purchase away. The hard truths, sacrifice, uncertainty, complexity, don't sell. So campaigns and advertisements spin fantasies instead, and we eagerly buy them. It's easier to blame some outsider or enemy for our problems than to face our own role or the messy reality. So leaders give us villains to hate, or promises that feel like certainties. We eat it up because it makes us feel in control and virtuous. Meanwhile, the real issues remain unresolved in the dark, unexamined. Religion, too, though it brings comfort and moral structure, can be seen as a grand, beautiful story. It tells us we're watched over, that every tear will be wiped away in the end. That is far more soothing than the possibility that no one is coming to save us, that the universe is silent and indifferent. Even outside formal religion, we find other faiths. We might cling to the belief in human progress, that history inevitably marches toward justice and enlightenment. It's a reassuring narrative, that all our suffering and striving means something and will pay off in the end. But the truth of history is not so neat or kind. We cling to these big picture lies for the same reason we cling to personal ones. They make life bearable. They lull us to sleep at night. If we suspect they're false, we hush that thought. After all, who wants to jolt themselves awake at 3 a.m. with thoughts of chaos and meaninglessness? And so, we lie in the small moments too. We tell ourselves that our partner truly loves us, even if all the evidence says otherwise. because the truth would break our heart. We tell ourselves we're happy in a job or lifestyle that is slowly killing us, because admitting the truth would force us to change. We lie about our feelings, saying, "I'm fine," when we're not. We lie about who we are, pretending to be confident when we feel lost. All these little lies weave into our identity. Over years, it gets hard to tell where the mask ends and the face begins. We forget the last time we really looked in that mirror without turning away. But sometimes the mirror cracks. Sometimes life gives you a glimpse of the truth you've been avoiding. Maybe it's a betrayal that shatters your trust, a failure that dispels your delusions of grandeur, or a loss that makes you question everything. In those moments, reality seeps through the fractures. When the cracks appear, you have a choice. You can rush to patch them, to tell yourself a new comforting story and pretend nothing happened. Or you can dare to look through the cracks at what's really there. It's like peeking out from behind a curtain you've been hiding behind your whole life. The first option, fix the cracks, mend the illusion, is tempting. It restores your peace quickly. The second option, facing the raw scene behind the curtain, is frightening. It means discomfort, uncertainty, maybe deep pain. Most people choose the quick fix. They put the blindfold back on because the light hurts their eyes. Imagine sleeping in a dark, warm room and an alarm clock blares at dawn. Waking up feels terrible. Your eyes burn, your heart pounds. Every instinct wants to smash that alarm and sink back into the pillows. That alarm is truth. Those pillows are your comforting illusions. Hitting snooze is choosing the lie just a little longer. The red pill versus the blue pill. This is not just a movie trope. It's your daily choice. In theory, you admire the truth teller, the one who wakes up. But in practice, the blue pill of ignorance often seems far more pleasant. Who wouldn't want to re-enter a blissful dream if given the chance? Yet once you've tasted a bit of truth, there's a part of you that can never fully go back. Even if you swallow lies to numb yourself, something in you knows. You become haunted by a quiet awareness that peeks through the gaps in your fantasy. A subtle voice that whispers, "This isn't real." That whisper is your power. It's the beginning of wisdom. Yes, it takes away some comfort, but it gives a clarity that most people never have. When you face the world as it is, you stop being easily manipulated by false promises. You gain the freedom to respond to life with open eyes, not through a veil of wishful thinking. Understand, seeing the truth won't make life easy. It might make it harder. You'll feel the full weight of reality, and not everyone around you will understand. Friends might prefer you cheer up and go back to the old you. Society might pressure you to wear a smile and play along. Standing apart in clarity can be a lonely road, but consider the alternative. Living in delusion, only to have it crumble when you least expect it. The longer you cling to a comforting lie, the more it will hurt when reality eventually crashes through. Facing an ugly truth now, on your own terms, is better than letting it ambush you later. Pain now or more pain later. Your choice? So here you are, at the crossroads between beautiful lies and ugly truths. Now that we've peeled back these layers, you have a decision to make. You can pretend you never saw what's behind the curtain and return to the familiar dream. Or you can step forward, eyes open, into the uncertain light of truth. If you choose to stay awake, prove it. Before we close, I have a request. Leave a comment with one brutally honest sentence about a truth you've been avoiding. Not a reaction or a slogan, just a raw admission. Then step away and sit with that truth for a while. And when you're ready for more, come back. I'll be here, waiting at the edge, where the abyss meets the light, where the next journey begins.